What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. Get my walking treadmill set up, so bear with me. Who does this? Jackie? Right? Jackie on her call. She's got the walking treadmill. All right. Well, I am mimicking Jackie today. All right. Let's get this show on the road here. All right. Let's get some wins. Who wants to go first?
I just re-signed.
Damn, let's go, Ashley. That was a quick win. Who took your call today?
Drew.
Whoa, Drew's a champion.
Yeah, it was great. I'm pumped.
Stick around.
Well, I mean, I feel like the first few months it's just been learning, and now I'm ready to start growing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for you. What are you going to do differently this next 4 months that you wish you did the previous 4 months?
Start focusing more on sales and more on actually reaching out, doing DMing, like focusing more on doing that part rather than just learning. Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Got a cool module coming out for you guys on Thursday. I redid the whole entire module on how to get your first couple of clients, restructure it on how to get your first 10 clients. So if you haven't gotten your first 10 clients yet, that would be a good module for you to dive back into, or anybody on the call. All right, let's get another win. Who wants to go next? Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
It is my first day.
Yes, let's go, Chantel. You ready for day one or what?
I'm ready.
Nice. Who took your call?
For the one-on-one or my initial call?
Your enrollment call.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Did he give you a hard time?
Not much.
He's a ball buster for sure. He takes no shit, that Mr. Jeremy.
That was good.
How old do you think Jeremy is?
Oh, I'm really bad at guessing ages. I'm like late 20s, early 30s, maybe.
He's pushing 50.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks good for 50, right?
He's doing very good.
Yeah. Well, welcome aboard. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's get Uno Mas. Uno Mas, who wants to be the last win today? Let's go. I'm going to pick on somebody. Who am I going to pick on? Carrie, what do you got? She's like, shit, I can't believe it. Oh, I think she turned her camera off. Jake, I'm going to call on you, bro. What do you got today?
Cool. So I rolled out my first client's protocols today. So that's pretty cool. Feels like a milestone. Pretty exciting.
Milestone. How'd you get this client?
There's someone I worked with in Chicago a few years ago. So just sent out, been sending DMs and stuff. Had a pretty easy sales call. She's super stoked. I'm very excited. Both looking forward to it. So we're getting it on the road.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome. From your power base then, huh?
Yep, power base. So I'm on day 13. So tomorrow's 2 weeks.
Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys know, I do these calls bi-weekly. The past couple of calls have been purely presentation style. We actually get 3 of these calls in the month of October. So I thought today we'd mix it up. We'd do some general Q&A. So it could be honestly anything in your business. The next 2 calls, oh no, I'm drawing a blank on what I had those out to be. 1 sec. I don't want to misspeak. I have this listed out. Just give me 1 sec. Yes, okay. The next 2 calls, we're going to talk about social media. So on the 16th, we're going to talk about social media growth and branding. And then on the 30th, we're going to talk about how to convert social media attention to leads. So make sure you guys mark that on the books. 16th, 4 o'clock, social media and branding. And then the 31st, 4 o'clock, we're going to talk about converting social media followers to leads. All right. So for the rest of the hour, we're going to dive right into Q&A. What questions, challenges do you guys want to break down today? Who wants to go first? Don't all jump at once. Who's going to break the ice? Challenges, questions, things you want to brainstorm, bottlenecks. Really? I thought you guys would
I guess I'll break it.
do it. Let's do it.
So I have about, I believe, 8 clients now, and my group chats are still like silent. And I feel like I'm bombarding them. I know I shouldn't, because I'm supposed to be like the engagement and the hype queen. But any advice, I guess, on like how to overcome that? I know I've heard from a couple people, even Jackie said that for the longest times, like that's kind of how the game goes as far as it being silent. So, I mean, should I just accept it? And as long as I'm putting in like motivational pictures, or like if I found something at the grocery store that I know they might like they see it, but they don't really engage to it, I just keep it going until I get bigger and I grow my clientele.
So, 2 things. Number one, Jackie is right. There's definitely a curve in which your groups will catch traction, which we could talk through how to expedite that in a second. But 2, you should never accept something that you don't want, right? You said, should I just accept that the community is not going to be what I want it to be? Stubborn, be stubborn. Stubborn business owners are good business owners. So let's continue to persist to get that turned around. All right, let's dive into the strategy part of that. So what are you currently doing?
Before I answer that question, something I just forgot is they engage with me. Like they love that one-on-one personal, like they're chatting with me all day. It's just getting everybody to chat in the group chat. So that's another thing. But what I'm currently doing is every day, like if it's, I guess check-in day, I'll let them like remind them, even if my trainer ice sends them automatically, I'll remind them. I've done polls. I don't do polls like every single day, but I've done polls, and I've also done like motivational quotes, like look what I found, like here's this, or kind of something like, hey, like has to do kind of like with mental health and how it like relates to fitness. Be like, hey, I know life is busy, I know we're busy, just know that I'm here for support, and things like that.
Okay. Expand on, you engage with them all day long. That's outside of the group chat?
Yeah, so they're chatting and they're asking me questions, or like if they go out to a restaurant, she'll be like, an individual will be like, hey, like what's the best choice? Here's the menu. Like, can you walk me through like your process on like how to choose better foods and things like that? It's just they can't do it like in the group chat for whatever reason. Maybe they like the personal touch.
Well, let's look at that, because they obviously are engaging with you. They're just doing it at the one-to-one level, but we're accepting that, right? So if they know, hey, if I reach out to Cassidy, she's going to respond to me in that one-to-one interaction, then where are they going to reach out? They're going to continue to reach out to you at that one-to-one level, right? Because that's the expectation. Even if it's not verbal, that's the expectation that we're setting with our actions. So if you want to get that back into the group chat, when somebody reaches out to you privately, you know, you can answer the question, but then you could just move it over to your group chat, and you could simply just say like, hey, great question, would love to put this in the group chat because I'm sure somebody else probably has the same exact question that you have. And then if you just redirect it there, answer it there, then people get more used to you answering it in that group, especially if they see other people asking questions in there as well. So I actually don't think that your group chat is dead. I think you're just answering these questions outside of the group chat. So that's what people are used to. And that's why they continue to do it there and not the group chat.
Got it. Makes sense.
Does that make sense? Beautiful. The second thing that I wrote down is when you were going through your strategy, it sounds like you're posting a lot of tips, which is great, and you should continue to do that. It sounds like the ratio of tips to prompts is a lot higher, right? Like it sounds like, for example, you're in the grocery store, you take a picture of something, you post it in there, but that's more of just like a static post where there's nothing really for people to like engage with. They probably just see it and they go, oh yeah, that's a good tip. And then they like carry on with their day. But if you ask a question, you know, that can probably get some more people to respond in there too.
I think I get discouraged because when I do post the questions, I'll get like 20% answering, and then it discourages me. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not do that anymore, but I should keep going.
Yeah, no, 100%. 20% is not bad at all. You're never going to get 100%. I would say 20 to 40% engagement in your group from your clients. That's pretty solid. Now, I said that we can talk about how to expedite this. The way that you would expedite it is the individuals who are responding, I would shoot them a message privately, and I would just say something real simple like, hey, thank you so much for engaging the group. I'm really trying to get this thing ramped up. What this does is it reinforces their behavior, right? Because you're thanking them, you're giving them a little shout out. But then additionally, you're also stating your vision that you want the group to be more poppin'. And because you're giving them these compliments, they're probably going to continue to do that, which in return might get some other people to do it as well. Now, going off of that post, I talked about positive reinforcement. You can also shout them out publicly in your group chat, right? You could say, hey, just want to thank Steve and Joe. They're always active in here. Thank you guys for being active participants. Other people will see that and be like, huh, I want to shout out too, right? And then they might change their behavior.
Got it.
Hopefully that was helpful. Did that answer anybody else's question with group chats? Cool. All right, let's keep rocking. Who's got the next one? Challenge, brainstorm, bottleneck?
I have a little bit of a brainstorm I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I was wondering if anyone has ever had experience with partnering with a corporation or really any kind of business is becoming like the fitness consultant for that company, kind of as a way to generate leads.
Yeah, we totally can.
Okay.
Now, question for you.
Sure.
How much time and energy and bandwidth do you want to put into this strategy? Like, do you want this to be your main strategy or what are you thinking?
I guess it would depend on how fruitful it is, because at this point it would be kind of hard to know.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it would be based on interest, of course, by the employees within that corporation. But it would also be, I guess part of it is convincing the corporation that it's beneficial or it's a benefit that they can offer as a perk to employment, maybe available to managers only, that kind of thing. What gave me the idea was coming from the service industry, being in restaurant groups. One of the ones I worked for in Chicago offered discounted gym memberships. I'm like, why not take it a step further, right? Because with all the benefits that come along with lifestyle and fitness coaching, you're going to have a more productive workforce. So it just seems like it would be beneficial to the company to kind of help subsidize it and make it take the guesswork out of finding a coach and that kind of thing. So that's kind of where the idea came from.
You can also leverage the convenience factor of online and not being tied to a trainer's schedule, especially because they're busy. But do you see these people in person? Meaning, like, do you have access to these corporations, like where you can walk into their office and talk to them?
Well, specifically the one I just came from, I actually spoke to the junior vice president about it, and he was like, Shark Tank, pitch it, go for it. So I figured, kind of like do that and then go from there. But of course, I want to be a little more, of course, my thought process is to be a little more established before doing that. But kind of considering the time that goes into making the presentation, all that, or just go for it, right?
Yeah, less established just means you can just give them a better offer, meaning maybe you take a percentage off or you give them some extra sessions or something like that, and just be open and honest and say, hey, this would be my first time doing this with a corporation, right? Because of that, I want to give you blank, right? Usually that is simple enough to win them over. But the reason I asked if you could see them in person is we talk a lot about this in our Master Coach program. And the only times I've ever seen it really work is if you can really get involved in their in-person community and then funnel people to your online community. So traditionally how this would work is maybe once a month you do a presentation, right? And at the end of the presentation, that's your sales pitch where you can funnel people into the program or the offer that you come up with for this corporation. And usually those presentations are more demonstrations, right? So maybe it's helping them stretch at their desk. Or maybe it's showing them how they can work out with no equipment or stuff like that. So the more involved, it's kind of counterintuitive. The more involved you can get in person, the more you'll get conversion on those kind of lead generation funnels.
Okay. I just signed one of their staff here in Charlotte. So I don't know, maybe I have an end. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, crush it with that one person. And then in your Shark Tank pitch, right, we could be a little patient, get this individual results, and then just highlight that. Right. But like you said, tie it back to their work efficiency, and maybe they hit some PRs at work that month or something.
Sure.
Sounds
good.
Yeah, other good ones like this are lead for lead exchange. So if you have somebody that can also benefit from your client base, right, you could do a lead for lead exchange. So for example, maybe chiropractic, right, like a chiropractic network or a meal prep network where they have the same clientele as you, but it's not a competing service. It's just an additional service that actually would benefit the client as well. Those types of partnerships work really well as well. And there's no cash exchange, there's no referral kickback. It's just an exchange of leads.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, you're thinking the right way. I like it. All right, who's next?
Can I go?
Yeah.
So
over here.
I'm almost up with my 4 months and I still have no clients, but I know it's mostly me. As far as like to those that are like more shy or more reserved, or like, because I know that that's mainly my thing, and it's a just getting out of my comfort zone thing. But as far as like most of the modules are a lot like, well, when you get a team, or like, because it's going to be a while before this girl has a team. I can just I know that. But like sometimes I personally just feel that it's like the modules are a little like they don't flow really well sometimes. So it's like I felt like when I'm going through them, like it's like back and forth a little bit. So like obviously I know don't start the LLC until after I've done this or done my scholarship, or like, so it just, for me, it just, I felt a little scatterbrained at the beginning. Now I have the LLC and like everything's kind of slowly coming into focus for me. But I just don't know, like, I don't know if I feel 100% confident or what exactly, like any advice, I guess, would be most helpful for like getting out of that and just, going with it.
Yeah, 100%. First, I just want to start by saying I appreciate your ownership. I also need to take some ownership, as well as, you not ending the program with at least one client. So just want to be upfront about that. A couple clarifying questions. Number one, you reference that you need a team. What do you feel like you need a team for?
Well, so as far as like posting on social media or DMing people, or like, because it oftentimes does feel very overwhelming. Like, as far as how often should I post online? When do I respond to people? How do I send the messages to people? Like, it just feels like, because I know at one point there was an opportunity for me to just have somebody else do my social media for a minute, like for a week or whatever. And I loved that moment of my 1 week of being able to have that. I was like, oh, cool. One less thing I have to worry about. 3 posts a day were made. It was fantastic. Loved it. And then now that I'm having to kind of like, I can post stories, I can post reels, not a big deal. But like, as far as getting the information out, or like just posting like nutritional information, or just getting the Canva things all organized, or it just gets to be a lot all at once.
Yeah, 100%. Entrepreneurship is never really structured. We can always try our best to make it structured, but it's it's a shit show. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I know there's
that's fine. Yeah.
There's a lot of business coaches that will say like, this is amazing. You're going to sit on the beach and drink Mai Tais. Not true. It's very hard. But with that said, we don't need a team for any of that stuff right now. To make your life super simple in the beginning stages, and this is literally what got me to my first $10,000 a month, all I focused on was sending the amount of messages that I need every day, following up with those people, creating the new messages. Like I said, that was one activity that I did every day. The second activity is I would make one post 5 days a week. Usually what I would do is I did Facebook Lives. That was my big thing because it was super easy. I didn't have to prepare anything. I just popped on and talked. Maybe that's not the same for you, but I found that really simple. And then the last thing was just doing the check-ins that I needed to do once I started getting clients. But those were the three functions. I did my sales activities. I made one post a day, and then I did my check-ins. Now, the second thing that could be helpful is not necessarily viewing it as how much time did I put into sales, marketing, and client delivery, but setting targets, right? So for me, it was like, all right, I got to book at least one call a day. I know if I send 100 new messages and do my follow-ups, I usually get one call booked. So that was my target. Send the 100 messages, finish the follow-ups, and then respond to people until I got my one call booked. Doing one post is doing one post. If that took me 30 minutes, great. If that took me an hour, great. And then the client check-ins were, that's simple. I'm going to do 4 today, or I'm going to do 1 today. So target focused instead of time focused. And then those are quite literally the 3 functions of your business up until about $10,000 a month. Now, obviously, I'm simplifying it. There's other aspects like starting your LLC or getting Wave set up, but those are more back burner. And these are the more 3 top priority ones. Does that make sense?
No, it definitely does. Like, it's like, I think that's kind of where, like, everyone's like, oh, time block or do this or this. Like, obviously it's organization, like, and whatever works for that person or whatever. But for me, it's just a matter of getting that routine and then being like, okay, these are the numbers that I should personally hit myself and where I'm most comfortable. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that 100 one is pretty standard. Like usually you get about a 1% conversion. So what that means is you send 100 messages, you'll likely get 1 client from that, but that takes into account your skill level, your ability to follow up, and your ability to respond with speed. So once again, generalizing, there's other aspects that go into it, but if we are generalizing, usually there's a 1% conversion on outreaches. Sorry, there was one other thing I was going to say. You were talking about time blocking, right? Was that it?
Yeah, I mean,
oh yes,
that
okay.
I should be better about it.
I know what I was going to say. What do you find the hardest? The sales part, the marketing part, or what part's the most, like, what do you have the most resistance to?
Probably like the sales portion. So I did MLMs for so long off and on for so long that when I send a message or when I get in the mindset of sending a message, it's not always genuine. It's kind of, I'm getting to that point, but just being more comfortable and just not trying to be spammy or salesy, or just asking the questions like, hey, are you into health and fitness? Or what are your goals? Or just kind of like starting those conversations. So, and then going from there. So.
Okay, cool. So if that's the one that you had the most resistance to, then that needs to be the one that you start your day with. Because once you can attack that, right, that's the hardest part. Everything's downhill from there. Now, you're not an MLM, right? You're a service-based business. And this is the analogy I always come back to, but DM outreach isn't something that's like this new thing, right? Like we've been doing this since the dawn of time. 20 years ago, it just looked a little bit different. It was going to speaking events or networking events, striking up conversation with somebody, you guys exchange some chit chat, and then you guys exchange a business card, and potentially that turns into a lead. This is just the same thing. You're just doing it on the internet, opposed to meeting people in person. So the uncomfortable part is obviously getting ourselves out there, but I can promise you this, not many people really think that you're being a scam artist.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, if you align your intent, if your intent is to help people, then you can always rest on that laurel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely where I've made that clear with any I'm not here. I'm like, I'll just literally message people because I'm doing bariatric groups or whatnot. I'll just message them and be like, hey, if you need help with this, or like, I'll give them information before I even suggest anything. And oftentimes I haven't. I'll just message them and just to be like, hey, maybe that person that messaged me a month ago, or maybe that person that messaged me 2 weeks ago is a person that I should reach out to. Or
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yeah.
it's great. I mean, if anybody is nervous to send DMs, a really simple way to just tweak your strategy is when you get to the point where you ask them about their goals, you just give them a free resource, and then you just leave the conversation at that for maybe 48 hours. And then you circle back and you say, hey, how did you enjoy the resource? What did you learn? Oh, by the way, what are your biggest challenges? Right. And then you could pitch the call from there. Takes a little bit longer, extra 48 hours. But if we are truly nervous to carry out that conversation to a pitch, that's a way that you can feel a little bit better about it.
I
Jess,
appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, 100%. I want you feeling good. Anything else we could dig a little bit deeper in?
No, I mean, Lacey's my coach, so we definitely feel like I have the upper hand with that. So like,
Yeah.
I don't get caught up in things, and I've been doing meditation and yoga for a couple of years, and I mean, I feel comfortable. It's just a matter of like being like, okay, really, this is my business, this is my future, this is, I'm doing this for family and my life. So
Okay.
like,
How long are you here for?
probably maybe till the beginning of November, middle of October, beginning of November, I think.
Okay, beautiful. On Thursday, you're going to see a module that's released on how to get your first 10 clients. Go through that and try that strategy.
Okay, will do. Appreciate it.
You got it. All right, who's next?
Okay, I have something. So anytime, I'm definitely not the biggest social media chick and I need to work on that overall, but I am working. I've noticed that because I've been in the competition world for about 10 years, if I post a picture of myself or workout, I always get some kind of engagement. But if I'm doing something educational where it's like a Canva carousel or something like that, it's always crickets. And I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into making sure it's like easy to read, simple messaging, all that stuff. And I barely get anything out of it. Is that normal, or is there something I should be adding to those types of posts?
Yeah, it's totally normal. Here's my honest feedback for you. Maybe those posts don't work for you, and that's okay, right? I mean, here's the thing with social media. It's all a testing game, right? If any business coach tells you that this strategy will 100% work for you, they're feeding you a line of BS. There's so many different ways that you could post. And the honest truth is that, reels might work for you and carousels might not, right? For whatever reason, your audience responds better to XYZ instead of the carousel posts. So here's what we need to do though, as business owners. One, we need to recognize those trends and those patterns. And then we need to formulate our strategy around that, right? The market meaning potential clients, is going to tell you what they want, right? So if we see that we're getting crickets on those posts, my honest assessment is don't make those posts, and instead focus more of your time and energy on creating the content that you do get responses to, and make that content better, right? So if you're getting a ton of responses to the workouts, maybe right now you're doing your workouts in a reel, right? Maybe you don't have captions, maybe you don't have additional, icons and things on your reel. Maybe the next step is, instead of creating these Canva posts, you just make your reels, 10% better. And then from there, you'll get more return on your time spent than trying to figure out something that's not working right now.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Of course. Right. I mean, all of this kind of ties back to what we suggest for our clients, right? If we notice that a particular strategy with our clients is not helping them lose weight, we're not going to continue to push that, right? We're going to adjust and double down on what's working. All right, who's next?
Yeah, I had a question about DMing specifically on Instagram, and you had posted about this a couple weeks ago, like, Instagram's changed everything and now it's harder to reach out to people who you're not friends with. So can you talk about that a little bit? Maybe some strategies for how to get around that when, like if somebody adds you they start following you, but you're not friends. I mean, I've been reaching out to people and it's like crickets.
Yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this. Prior to that, when you reached out to new people, you noticed a more of a response. Is that correct?
Well, prior to that, yes. But I feel like Facebook, I definitely get a lot more responses. It's a lot easier to connect to people on Facebook than it is now on Instagram.
Okay. Are you, our majority are leads coming from Facebook?
Right now they are, yeah. But I'm getting more growth on Instagram, so I kind of don't know.
Yeah, 100%. So maybe you focus most of your outreach efforts on Facebook, right? Same kind of advice that I gave the previous question, Amanda. Just because right now, Ashley, you don't have a team, right? So you're limited on your time. So it's about maximizing your time for best results, right? If you had a team, we'd be diving into different strategies to get people to respond on Instagram, but that's not the best use of your time right now. However, because your Instagram is growing and we do want to capitalize on that, there's a couple of things that we could do to get them off Instagram and get them on a platform that we can message them. So if you have a Facebook group, you can funnel people there, right? If you're posting a ton of content on Facebook, you can funnel people there because that's where they respond, right? So that's one potential thing that you could do. If you have a WhatsApp group, you can do the same thing. In your stories, you can funnel people to your WhatsApp group and you can get people to respond there, right? So the question you should be asking yourself is, how do I get people, because my Instagram is growing, how do I get them off Instagram and onto a place where I can actually, have these conversations with them?
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
You got it. Do you have a lead magnet perchance?
No.
No. Okay, cool. There'll be some more modules on this in the next couple months, but essentially, do you have a free resource that's been working for you?
I do. Yeah. I have a couple and that's working really well on Facebook. But Instagram is.
Hell yeah. What is it?
I have a couple. I have like one that's like a macro basics, how to calculate macros, a free nutrition guide. Those are the two primary ones that I hand out because those are the questions that people have the most about.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, if you do have any additional capital, and you can find somebody cheap to do it on Fiverr, but I would create a 2-step landing page. So essentially what that is on the first landing page, it's a hook to get them to put in their information to then get the resource, right? So if it's around macros and let's say they struggle with whatever, insert challenge, you can say, are you person who struggles with blank, get a free macro assessment, drop your information below, have them put in their name, their phone number, their email, and then it takes them to the next page where they can download the PDF or whatever it is that you're offering. But now you have their phone number, right? And unlike Instagram, AT&T isn't going to create these rules on how you can't text people, right? So just a different way to reach out to those prospects.
Well, and thought of that. Thank you.
Yeah. And that doesn't even have to be like super sexy and done up right now. Like I said, Fiverr, which is Fiverr, is a really cheap outsourcing platform where you can get these kind of like landing pages and PDFs created for like $50 to $100.
Do you think that it's worthwhile to have a website? That's not something that I've done yet.
Not right now, but for something like this, yes.
Yeah.
But something for just like general information about your program, not really.
Yeah.
But these kind of like sales pages, that's what this is called, like the technical term for what I'm describing. These are great because you can capture information, which is something that you can actually do something with. And then, they get what's promised, which is the resource.
Cool.
Traditional websites have very low conversion. Sales pages have very high conversion. More master coach kind of stuff, but really good question. I'm glad that you're thinking this way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Actually, one more for you, Ashley. I don't know if you saw my post in the announcements chat this morning about the pin post funnel. Did you happen to see that?
I glanced at it. I haven't had a chance to go through it yet.
Okay, cool. I'll talk about it at a really high level and then I'll let you look at it later. But essentially what it is when I say Twitter carousel, do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so have you ever seen on Instagram where people make posts where it looks like it's from their Twitter?
Okay, yeah, I do, yeah.
And then carousel is just a multiple
Yeah.
of them. So the first slide is going to be a hook, same kind of thing, right? If you're a type of person who struggles with challenge, keep reading. You give them maybe 1 or 2 tips on slide 2 and 3. And then slide 4, you say, comment word below and I'll DM you the resource. That's another way where you can get these people to actually respond to your DMs in Instagram. Because when new people come to your page, which it sounds like they're growing, you know, they'll see that post because you pinned it to the top. They'll comment below and then you'll just DM them the resource.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I haven't thought to put it actually in the carousel. I've always been putting it in the caption, but
Yeah. People are, where's the attention, right? Attention's not really in the caption anymore, right? It's in the post. So just move it there and you'll get better results.
cool. Thank you.
Of course. All right. Who's up?
Can I ask ads question?
Of course.
So I know like we go over like with Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, but like my daughter's school has this like massive newsletter that goes out to every parent, faculty, like alumni, like it's a huge group of people. But like you can put like the old school like ad in that newsletter, and I just don't know. I think if it's worth it because it targets a lot of my ideal clients, which are moms, or if that's just like way too old school.
I mean, it's worth testing. How much is it to get it in there?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm waiting for them to email me back with pricing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to say no to trying something because we just don't know, right? Until you do it. But what should be in question is how much you have to invest to test it, and then if that is worth you getting your answer or not, right? Because if it's like, let's say it's like 20 to 50 bucks. I mean, fuck, if you sign one client, you know, that's a 10x return on your investment, or a 5x or whatever, however much you charge. It's a significant return on your investment. But if you do that, my follow-up question would be, what are you sending them to? Like, what's the call to action?
Yeah, and that's what I don't know what I would send them to. Like, part of me feels like I would need to make like a landing page to like funnel people through from it. Like, I don't know if like I could just do like a QR code that they could easily like scan that takes them to a landing page, and then they fill out the form, and then that way I've captured all their information. You know, or if it goes to like a type form document. I was trying to think through that process.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the type form just because somebody has to be like ready to give you their credit card to fill out a type form. I've noticed that type form as link in bio is something that's dying out because right now people like really need trust in order to fill that out. So it's better to do some sort of lead magnet, kind of like what I was talking about with Ashley before. If you have any free resource that converts, you could still create that landing page that captures their info, but now they get some free value from you. Another thing that I think would work really well in the context to the school board is chatting with them about if you could do something in person, right? Like some sort of like event in person with the moms at the school, using that as your lead magnet, and then and then converting all those people at the end of the event.
That's a really good idea. Thank you, Chad.
Of course. Keep me posted on how it goes. All right, who's next? I love how it just takes one question and then we get in a good flow here. But now that I just said this, I swear I'll jinx myself. All right, who's next? Say, I knew it. Knew I'd jinx myself. Oh no. All right, who is up? Question challenge. Bottleneck. Anybody? Man, I mean, we can end early. That's what you guys
I have a
want.
question.
All right, let's do it.
I'm not sure if you're going to have any input on this because I talked to my coach, Emily, about this, and she didn't really know like why this was happening, but Facebook like does not let me friend literally anyone. Like maybe 1 out of every like 20 or 25th person I try to friend, it lets me actually send the request, which is really frustrating, obviously, because, you know, my messages are getting put right into their request box. So I don't really know what to do about that.
Yeah, Facebook has been cracking down even harder on their new message protocols and friending protocols. Are you sending friend requests to people who have a lot of mutual followers with you?
Not really, because my friends list, like, I guess I should start going to my friends list and finding people, like, a lot of people in my friends list are my age, and I don't want to find clients who are like exactly my age. I want to find them like a little bit older. So it's kind of difficult to, you know, go into my power list and like friends list on Facebook and find people from there who will be like ideal clients. So we don't necessarily have like a ton of mutual friends, if that makes sense.
100%. Do you have anybody in your friends list who has accepted a friend request that would be an ideal client?
Like, not really.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I used to do with my real estate peeps. Is once I started getting people to accept, I would then go to my friends list and find people that are ideal clients, and then go to their friends lists and send the request to. Now it's a process that takes some time because you got to get people on your friends list that are ideal clients. But you said you can get one every 25 people to send the friend request to or accept your friend request.
So even just send it.
Okay, cool. So that's still something. So let's see if we can get some people on your friends list that are ideal clients, and then just go to their list and find ideal clients from their list. Because then at least you have that mutual friend request. And Facebook will allow you to send friend requests to people that have mutual friends. Usually what it cracks down on is randomly sending a friend request to somebody that it looks like you don't know, which is not off of mutual friends.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I thought that was it at first too, but even if like someone has, I've tried doing it with 5 mutual friends and even like 8, and it doesn't even let me send it sometimes. So I don't know if it's just like a waste of time for me right now to be like going through, because it takes so much time for me to actually like hit my like friend requests that I want to send a day, just because I'm like constantly going through and it's not letting me. So I didn't know if I should like not even focus on that anymore, or
well, let me ask you this. Is that where majority of your leads are coming from?
Majority of my leads have definitely come from Instagram before, but I think that there's a lot of good potential leads from Facebook that I'm missing out on because of this, which is frustrating.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, did we stop getting leads from Instagram, or what made us want to switch to Facebook?
I think majority of my leads definitely came from my followers list. That's why it was easier. And then once I kind of messaged everyone from there and got clients from there, now I'm just moved on to cold DMs. So my amount of like booking calls and stuff went down just because the leads are getting harder because they're not as warm.
Okay. Do you have people on your Facebook friends list that you could move over to your Instagram followers? Meaning you post about your Instagram on your Facebook to funnel people to Instagram?
Yeah, I could try. Again, like a lot of my friends are people who like I went to high school with and college with, and I like just graduated not long ago. So a lot of those people who are on my friends list, like they already like follow me on Instagram as well. So
Gotcha. Okay. So then forget what I was saying there. So really then you have 2 options. Option 1 is you take the time, because we need to grow your business, to go through that painful process of getting some more ideal clients on your friends list. Now the 5 to 8 number, usually you need about 20 mutual friends in order for Facebook to say that that's okay, which I understand that's going to take a lot of time and attention, but that's an option if you're willing to commit to that. Now the other option is Instagram seems to be something that has worked for you, but you've kind of gone through the list already of people that could potentially become clients. So now we need to figure out how we can grow that Instagram. So if you haven't already, I would check out the $1 a day strategy and see if we could just create like a $30 a month budget where we could post or boost some of your posts to drive some more engagement to your Instagram and see if we can grow that to convert to more leads.
Okay, yeah, that's something I've been wanting to do, the $1 a day, and I need to get on those modules and start implementing it. Do you think I should just like solely focus my time on that right now and kind of like not so much on Facebook?
Yep. And
for the time being?
this seems to be a theme that I'm giving on this call, but you always want to double down on what's already worked for you, especially at the early stages of your business, which everybody on this call falls into that category. Because the more different strategies you do, right, you're a master at none, right? Right now, the goal for you guys is to figure out, you know, one avatar, one way of getting leads, and then put as much time and energy into that one way until we have enough clients to then take that money and reinvest it into ads, which once you guys have ads, I mean, there's even an argument that you don't even have to post on Instagram anymore because you have these ads that are bringing in leads. It's just getting to that point that is challenging. But for you, it seems like you already have some paying clients where, you know, even 30 to 60 bucks a month on the $1 a day strategy could bring in some traffic for you, which can make things a lot easier.
Yeah.
So double down on what's
Okay.
already working. Don't spread yourself too thin right now when you have a team or when you don't have a team. When you have a team, you know, we could do multiple different strategies.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's working for Ashley, which is great. Right. And Ashley, if you find something that's working, right, you have a post that's popping off as a result of that. Right now, it's like, all right, I'm spending $1 a day. You know, let's just spend $2 a day. Right. And in essence, you know, you're going to get more in return.
Yeah, and that like one of the posts that I did, it's funny because you know, I've spent so much time putting together like fancy reels and sorry, also cooking dinner. But this one post was one that I did super fast. I didn't think it was gonna get a lot of traction. It's gotten like 1,500 likes, like so many people following me from it. So it's working really well.
Yeah, that's the big thing with the $1 a day strategy is spend money on the posts that work, not on the newest posts. A lot of people will make the mistake of like, oh, because I just posted this one, it's my best one and it's going to perform the best. No, right? It doesn't matter if it's from 4 years ago. If that's the one that has the best engagement on your page, you know, the people, when you boost it, it's their first time seeing it, right? They don't know that it's 4 years old. So that's always the best way to go. Love it. Love it. Love it. Who has, I believe it's in the earned media module. Who's done a virtual event? Hell yeah, Ashley has. Love that. Anybody else done a virtual event? Cool. All right, that's a big opportunity. If you guys have not done a virtual event, I would go into the earned media module. It's about a 14-minute long video. It's very simple. And it's a very simple process as well. And I would run that play. That's something that I'm seeing is working really well right now. The coaches that are doing well have really fostered a community. And when I say a community, I'm not talking about, you know, bajillion followers. What I'm talking about is even if you have 30 people, there are people that will show up to your virtual event. There are people that are engaging in your WhatsApp chat or your Facebook group, right? That's a community. So, and this is a great way of capital. If you do have a committed community, this is a great way of funneling those people to paying clients. One random tip, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent. One random tip that is working really well for our master coach students, and this is a strategy that you guys can do too. It's very simple, is having something that is like on a consistent rotation, even if it's just bi-weekly, where it's more interactive. So for example, Kayla Diamond, who you guys know, will have a virtual workout that happens bi-weekly where people can attend and just on Zoom could pop on and they can get a good workout with Kayla or one of her coaches. For you guys, it would be with you. But these like interactive virtual events like group workouts or group cooking classes or group yoga or meditation or whatever it may be, those work really, really well, especially if you have them as standing calls. And then you just reach out to the attendee list and see if you can convert them to a call. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Who wants to go next?
Can I go?
Yeah. You guys don't need to raise your hand. You can just yell.
For sure. So this is actually my first day on the support call. So
Hey, let's go.
First week I had I forgot his actual name, but it went by Bambino. What's his nickname or something?
Yeah, Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's Drew. Yeah, for sure. We called Bambino. He was laughing when I called him that. And then, yeah, it was pretty much cool. It went pretty well.
Nice.
But my question is,
That's his nickname.
okay. Yeah, but anyways, I currently, before I joined the program, I actually had two clients, just two very close friends of mine, and they've been on my program, or I've been training them for about, I want to say, approximately 2 months so far. They've seen progress. They've been telling me some good results. They're close to differently. They feel like more energy, and they've seen some visual, like changes in the mirror, and especially weight on the scale as well too. So that goes to show that one of them is working. That's for one of the clients. For my other client, and mind you, this two clients of mine are a couple. So my friend, which is the guy, and the girl, I'm just using names. There's Eric and Jasmine. So Eric is doing pretty solid so far. Started at 230. He's around 222 right now. So he's making some good progress. I'm proud of him. But Jasmine is also making progress as well, considering that she hasn't really gotten to the habit of it. But her diet and nutrition has changed like drastically, but she enjoys it and she's able to stay consistent with it. However, my goal is to get her into the gym as consistently as possible with Eric usually. So I don't really physically train with them in person as much as well, not really as I should, but since I don't see them as too often where I train with them consistently. But those two are usually always together because they live together. So my goal would be, or my question was, how would I get someone to consistently, it can be as little as one time a week, 2 times. Eventually, it could be like more throughout the time. But my question is, how would I get someone to start training consistently?
Yeah, 100%. So if I'm hearing you correctly, what I heard was that you have two clients. It sounds like you're trying to get the female client to train more consistently, but she is getting good results currently with focusing on what you guys are focusing on. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, my first question for you would be, is this her goal? Because I know it's your goal to have her train more, but is that also her goal?
Yeah, it is her goal, like in the long run, because they plan to get married in the future and she wants to look a certain way.
Yep. Okay. And then in terms of her style of training that she is trying to grow into, it's aligned with your style, right? Like she wants to
correct
in the gym. All right, cool. So we have alignment. So that's good. All right. So do you guys have a game plan in place already to get her into the gym more, or has that not been discussed?
I have an idea because I kind of just tell my other friend Eric to, like, he's working with me well, it's perfectly fine. He's seen the results, he's happy. However, he's been telling me that she's been kind of skipping sessions with him here and there, not feeling motivated to actually go, and kind of being more inconsistent. Also due to the fact that she has a busy schedule, she has family, she has work, and she's a nurse too, so she works a lot of hours. That goes hand in hand with the her schedule. So with that in mind, usually I gave him a plan to like use some like positive reinforcement when she does go. Say for example, like kind of put her into an environment. Don't give her anything too intense. Like you're not gonna max out on like a day, randomly. But for example, like get her into the gym, like get her into that environment. Maybe start her off with a treadmill to warm up a bit, and then have her like perform, for example, like a squat just to get the form down. And I told him like some positive reinforcement. The positive reinforcement example would be to like, I don't know, maybe get food right after, like something that she wants to do, and kind of give him like positive feedback to her. That was be my plan to him. I haven't actually went through that with him directly.
Is this her trainer or is this her husband, boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Okay. And is he also the trainer or is he just more advanced?
He previous knowledge and previous experience for this because he used to play football in high school and I did it well too. and I'm just kind of guiding him back into that phase because he wants to get back into shape. So
Yeah, okay. What I would do then is I wouldn't have her do the same plan as him, just based on where they're at in their journey. I would get on a call with her and come up with a plan together. You're on the right track with positive reinforcement, but anytime that you include somebody in the creation of something, they also take ownership in that, right? So if you're sitting down on a call with her and you guys are coming up with the actual workout plan together, or at least the structure of it, she'll feel as though that she was participating in the creation of that. She'll take ownership of it, which means that she'll probably follow through a little bit more, because things that we create or ideas that we come up with, we tend to follow through on more than when we are told to do something by somebody else. So that's what I would do with this individual. I wouldn't rely, it sounds like we're relying too much on her significant other instead of creating something that's custom to her.
got it. That makes sense.
Yep, I would start there. But positive reinforcement is always good. You can also just have open dialogue with her about, you know, what she feels would keep her consistent, or if she feels that positive reinforcement is something that would help her with as well. Sometimes with coaching is, you know, these thoughts and ideas that we come up with, we just need to ask the client or talk to the client about it.
Okay, makes sense.
100%.
Yep.
Any other questions, man?
I think I'm good for now. Yeah. Thank you. Kind of answered everything.
Hell yeah, I'm glad that I did. All right, y'all. Got probably time for one more. Who wants to be the last one today? Anybody?
I'll ask one if no one else has one.
Yeah, let's do it, Emily.
Okay, so like we've got all those modules on like how to do the tracking with like the CRM, your bookings and all that stuff. And I don't know, I think that's my newfound hell. Like I watched the module, but I still get like super overwhelmed when it goes into like entering my client into like the client tracking form and all of that stuff. Like what are some tips to make that less overwhelming? Because like I know I need to start tracking my progress and like how I'm doing, but it just like it overwhelms me, sends me an anxiety, and I just close it out.
Yeah, I feel that. We're still in that beginning phase, right, Emily? We're still trying to get those first 5 to 10 clients.
Yeah, I just have my one free scholarship client, and that's all I have right now. So I'm trying to like get over this hump of not wanting to track before I start getting too many clients, and then like end up in this like shit, I've got to catch up now.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only one who's in this boat. My recommendation would be to not spend any time on it. My recommendation would be to spend all of your time on the sales tasks to get more clients.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
Yep, that's 100% what I would do. And I think you're not alone in this, but I think sometimes we will gravitate to doing those things because we know that once we could check the box, we can get that gratification. But sometimes those things aren't the needle movers or the result drivers. So let's focus on the thing that gets you the clients. And then once we get the clients, we can worry about tracking those other aspects.
Okay. Yeah, you should ask Emily about my to-do list because I've got 13 days left in the program. And so my to-do list, I think, is 2 pages of everything I want to try to get done in the next 13 days.
Yeah, I mean, 13 days, I would like to get you a couple more clients. So I truly wouldn't focus on those things. I really wouldn't. What I would focus on is the strategy that's going to come out this week on the new one that I created on how to get your first 5 to 10 clients.
Okay. And you said that's dropping on Thursday, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That's what the team told me. All right. Do have a call here at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, I would have went one more, but I appreciate you guys showing up. Hopefully this was helpful. Like I said, on the 16th, we're going to talk social media and branding. So I'll have a presentation for you guys and I will see you then. Thank you. Thanks, y'all. I'll chat with you guys soon. Peace.